Hi, good morning. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. I feel like I'm really far away from you today. I'm going to scoot you a little closer. All right. Oop. My computer is set up on a little swivel chair, and it has a tendency to move around on its own sometimes. Okay, so there we go. All right, so today is a about a 31-minute Kundalini yoga class. We're going to do maybe about 10 or 15 kriyas, each for about 2 minutes or so. Before we really kind of get into this, I just want to make sure I'm recording good sound here. So I'm going to turn up my volume as high as I can. Okay. All right. So Kundalini yoga is a very traditional style of yoga. It has a long, long lineage. But you don't feel like you really need to have a strong background in Kundalini to practice Kundalini. They each have a sort of energetic signature that you will feel through the practice. I was first introduced to Kundalini, I'd say, 2006 or so. So at about 2006, I was first introduced to Kundalini, and my first teacher was a direct student of Yogi Bhajan. Yogi Bhajan sort of brought Kundalini to the West, so it's a very clear line. And for me, I like to sort of tune into that sort of ancient chain of practitioners. There's a quality that is difficult to put into words, which I can feel every single time I practice this style of yoga. They're very quick breathing practices. Some are longer, some are shorter, some have a mudra, some have a mantra that goes along with it. But these are pretty basic. You don't need a lot of skill or a lot of ability to move even for these kinds of practices. They're mostly breath practices. And the whole purpose of this practice is to create boundaries, right? To hold a energetic signature that is clear, consistent, loving, and peaceful. I know for myself in my attempt to hold boundaries, especially with my family, I can be quite fiery in my desire to hold boundaries for myself, especially when my needs aren't getting met or I'm tired. It can be really difficult to hold boundaries in a loving and kind way. So practices like this allow us to create that energetic signature that creates a boundary around us so that our internal space remains consistent. We're able to hold a boundary for ourselves no matter what's coming into our space, because we really can't control what's going on around us. And we often attempt to control other people through manipulation, through all sorts of tactics, when really it can be more beneficial to turn your attention inward, create a safe and steady, clear boundary for yourself internally. And then externally, people start to pick up on that, and they start to respond in kind. So if you are creating space for yourself that is kind, loving, clear, then people will begin to respect that as well. So this practice is really about creating and then maintaining a boundary for yourself. So let's go ahead and get into it, right? One of the most important things, and I think this is true of all practices, but especially when taking on a Kundalini style of practice, is to create a really strong intention. They say that there's a golden chain that connects all practitioners. And one really beautiful image that a teacher of mine shared is the idea of having an ancestral line, right? So you can imagine your grandmother with her hand on your back behind you, or say behind your mother. Sorry, let me get this straight. So imagine your grandmother, great grandmother, placing a hand on your grandmother, placing a hand on your mother, placing a hand on you. And then imagine you with your child in your lap. and your grandchild. And just take a moment to feel that quality of being supported from behind and bringing that support into the future. So I'd like for you to just take your hands to your heart. Just place your thumbs right up in your solar plexus. And just begin to breathe deeply, imagining that hand of support on your back. Imagining supporting those that are coming after you. And situate yourself right in the center of that. Feel the quality of being rooted and steady. Feel the quality of creating sacred space. So imagine that this space, your body, your cushion, your practice room or practice area is sacred. Draw energy from the earth. Draw energy from the earth to establish independence. And in the still moments here in the beginning and throughout our practice, visualize and feel a stable frame around you. And the boundary becomes a natural part of your field. Bring conscious attention to being grounded to the earth. Descend your spine like a root to create a sense of steadiness. And claim and cherish the sacred space you create on the mat. There's a mantra that we start all Kundalini practices with. I'm not going to share that mantra verbally now. Just going to hold it in my heart. And during this time, you're welcome to set an intention on the subject of boundaries. So go ahead and gently open your eyes. And the way we're going to do this, because it's sort of an introduction to Kundalini, we do it. It's not like a vinyasa flow. We're not moving from practice to practice or posture to posture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to set a little timer for 2 minutes. So each time that we practice, we're going to just do so for 2 minutes. And 2 minutes is going to include both a minute it's going to be 3 minutes. So it's going to be 2 minutes of actual practice and then 1 minute to receive the mantra, okay, or to receive the practice. So I'm going to set that timer. What I'm going to do, I am going to add a little moment where there's so you can use the timer on your phone when you're practicing at home. I'm going to go ahead and use Insight Timer because it allows me to do like a little tick where like after 2 minutes, it'll make a little sound so that I know. All right, bear with me here. What is Insight Timer done? I can't seem to find the timer on my Insight Timer. That's bizarre. Hold on 1 second. All right, so I have set the timer for 3 minutes and I have an interval bell that'll go off after 2 minutes. Okay, so this first one is Breath of Fire. So like I said, this is kind of an introduction to Kundalini. So if you've never done Breath of Fire before, don't worry. Breath of Fire is a quick exhale. So you're pumping your belly. So it's a very just quick, you focus on the exhale only. And you're pumping the belly. So you're pulling the belly in as you're breathing. So if you focus on the exhale, quick exhale through your nose, that's all you really need to do. So go ahead and start your hands right here at your heart. Okay. Take a moment to feel rooted and steady. And you can go straight for 2 minutes. You can do a round of 30 and then pause, taking a breath and coming back into it. But we're going to try to go straight for 2 minutes. And you'll go ahead and begin with me when you're ready. So if you need to take a breath and then come back into it. Quick exhale through the nose, pumping the belly. Feel a steadiness and a rootedness. About 30 or so more seconds. So feel free to stop and take a breath if you need to, and then come back into it. Ten more seconds. Go ahead and pause, rest your hands on your lap. Return your breath to its natural state. Notice, notice and receive. part right after the Kriya, this stillness, is extremely important. And go ahead and open your eyes. So you can notice the amount of heat that just 2 minutes of deep breathing can bring to your body. All right, so we're going to do breath of fire again. This time there's a different mudra for your hands. Right? So you want to find yourself rooted on the ground. And the mudra is you take your thumbs and you place them up into the sky. Shoulders are relaxed, but there's strength through the hands. Okay. You want to sit so that the triangle of your pelvis is supported. So I'm sitting up on a bolster, right? And you want to create this sense of groundedness and rootedness through the tailbone, through the pelvis, really feeling into this first chakra, and then feel the energy rising up from there and out to your hands. We're going to do breath of fire the same amount of time, just with the hands up in the air. So if you need to at any time, if you're starting to feel lightheaded or anything like that, just pause, take a deep breath, and then you can enter into the practice again when you're ready. So we are creating a sacred space around us through this mantra. So we'll take a deep breath and then begin when you're ready. So try to keep your face soft and relaxed. Don't clench your face. Soft and relaxed face as you breathe. Pumping the belly, quick exhales. Imagine yourself creating a sacred space around you. So through breath of fire, we're energetically clearing our space, clearing any negativity, clearing anything that's hooking us, and creating a strong and clear boundary for ourselves. So keep with your breathing. Five more seconds. We're done. So let your hands rest in your lap. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm and cadence. Receive, notice, witness. All right, gently open your eyes. So again, take a moment to just notice how you feel. And I grab some oil. Breath of fire always clears things out. All right. So next is the positioning for this is you're going to take your hands onto your shins. So the way I'm sitting here is my ankles are sort of right in front of each other, right? You're going to take a hold of your shins, okay? Sit up nice and straight. And the movement is you round the shoulder and press the heart, right? Round the shoulder. And actually, you're not really rounding the shoulders per se. You're sort of moving the heart forward and back. So instead of really getting into this position, try to keep your shoulders consistent and just move forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. So if you look at this from the side, instead of doing this, my shoulders are staying consistent and I'm moving my chest forward and back, forward and back. And you'll have some movement in the shoulders, especially if you're doing this for the first few times, but really try to keep the shoulders in alignment with the hips and move from there, okay? So we're not doing breath of fire this time. We're just moving, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And you can do this slowly. You can move inhale, exhale, or you can move a little faster. That's more what I'm going to be doing. You get to choose the pace and the timing of this. We'll start the timer in just a second. Again, we're going to do it for 2 minutes. And as you're moving, I want you to kind of think about the relationships in your life, right? Is there a relationship in your life that is draining you? And this relationship doesn't have to be with a person. For example, I've been spending a little bit too much time on Reels on Instagram. I do set a timer for myself so I don't go overboard, but that's not bringing anything to my life. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a person that you have a relationship with, right? So go ahead and settle in and begin when you're ready. So we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Shoulders stay consistent. So consider a relationship in your life that is draining you. Good grip on the shoulders, on the shins. It's like you're riding a camel. You can imagine the mantra Sat Nam. Release your hands, return your breath. I've probably felt the heat during breath of fire. Maybe you experience some coolness now. Notice, witness, receive. All right, so for this next Kriya, you're gonna sit up nice and straight. Your hands are going to your shoulders. So you want your elbows in alignment with your shoulders, so try not to drop here. Keep this high, and you're keeping your trunk nice and steady. Imagine your rib cage sort of moving around the center like a washing machine. So that's the movement. Right? The breathing is in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can also do this in and out through the nose if you wish, but I've always had sort of lots of sinus issues, so that works best for me. But again, you can experiment. Kundalini mantras or Kundalini kriyas are meant to be done anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, up to 11, up to 33 minutes, right? We're just doing a nice little 2-minute session here so you can get a taste of what it feels like. So go ahead and take a deep breath and begin when you're ready. So enforcing limits takes energy and consistency. See if you can hold your center even as your upper body is sort of spinning from side to side. Keep your elbows up. Stay grounded, connected to the earth. Release your hands, find your center. Enforcing, holding, maintaining limits, boundaries takes energy, consistency, discipline, compassion, patience. All right. So I'd like for you to just come down onto your back. We're going to pause. Go ahead and come all the way down. Bend your knees. Close your eyes. Choosing boundaries is all about preserving energy and witnessing energetic leaks and distractions. So go ahead and close your eyes and just consider a few things that are leaking. Notice distractions. What is draining your energy currently? Where could you button things up a bit? Pause and receive insight, intuition, wisdom, sourcing that from within. Go ahead and take one more deep breath in and out. And gently make your way back up to your feet. Actually, go ahead and come back down onto your back. So for this practice, we're going to move from where we were on our backs to a bridge pose, hands by the sides. We'll just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll do that for 2 minutes. And during this time, imagine there's like a downward flush, right? A downward flush, so that by the time we're done, there's a sense of feeling lighter, and a sense of feeling settled. And maybe even by now you feel a sense of being lighter and more settled in your body. Every time I practice Kundalini, every time I do this practice, I feel lighter. And, you know, it's really just breath practice. So it's really incredible how the magic of this practice can create the energetic boundaries that we really need. All right. So go ahead and begin when you're ready. Just breathe, inhale and exhale. Make sure your feet stay grounded. So keep going. Your legs might start to feel tired. Just keep going if you need to take a moment to reposition or begin again. You're welcome to. So you can imagine doing this for 11 minutes or even 33 minutes. About 2 minutes is good. 1 minute is good. Go ahead and pause. Just extend your legs long. And take your hands to your low belly if you'd like. So for this next practice, we're really gonna use the legs. You're gonna take your hands by your side and you'll inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I'll try not to goose you guys or expose too much here. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay. So that is the practice. We're going to go for 4 minutes so that we have an equal 2 minutes on each side. I'm going to add another minute. And move at your own pace. Don't feel like you need to move too quickly. We're going to focus on the first chakra, defining what you need for independence. So as you're moving, consider your own needs. What are your needs? What do you need? The more you can be clear about what you need, the more you're able to hold that for yourself, the more you're able to communicate those needs to the people in your life. Right? So go ahead and begin when you're ready. I'm just gonna wrap things up here. All right, go ahead and begin. About halfway there. You can see how this can be just as physically demanding as a vinyasa practice. Holding boundaries can be physically demanding. So find the stillness within. Go ahead and breathe and rest. And just feel whatever feelings you're feeling. You feel whatever feelings you are feeling. You're allowed to have your own feelings. You're allowed to have your own feelings outside of what another person might be feeling. So feel into this first chakra. All right, so go ahead and come on up to this next practice. In fact, before we do so, we're going to sort of clear things out. We're going to just kind of roll up and down on our side for about 30 seconds just to clear everything out. I want you to see if you can feel your energy expanding at this point. You can come all the way up onto your feet if you feel like it. Just clearing. If you're like me, you feel a little lighter than you did at the beginning. And if not, that's okay. Just rock and roll. Feel the energy expanding out, and then rock yourself up to a seat. And we're actually going to come onto our knees for this one. So if you need to, you can place a block underneath your seat or a bolster. I'm going to just place a block underneath my seat. Same thing as before with the shoulders on this one, right? So not rounding, right? Try to keep this consistency. Shoulders stay steady in alignment with the hips. Same thing as before, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. We'll go ahead and begin again. Forward, back. And as you breathe, maybe ask yourself, how do these new boundaries feel? Imagine yourself communicating, and I love this, communicating once, quietly, and in peace. For those of us that are in family or relationships or partnerships, this is extremely important. Communicating our boundaries once, quietly, and in peace. Try it at home. Experiment. See what happens. Okay, so with your breath, creating boundaries for yourself. Imagine yourself communicating your boundary, the boundary, once, quietly, and in peace. 30 more seconds. Forward and back through the heart. Nice grounded pelvis, grounded legs. Rest, receive, notice, witness, experience. Gently open your eyes. Hopefully you're beginning to feel a shift at this point. You know I am. All right, so for this one, you can stay seated up on your heels again, but I'm going to come back down onto my seat. If you want to join me there, you can. Of course, you can sit up on your knees. So for this one, your hand is going to be, your elbow is going to be at an L shape, and the movement is going to move here, 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 here. So it's like you're clearing the space in front of you and around you. All right, so we'll do that again for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then 1 minute to pause. So go ahead and begin when you're ready. All right, so imagine yourself feeling nourished and abundant. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Imagine yourself feeling nourished and abundant, generous. 5 more seconds. Go ahead and hold your hands up over your head for 5 breaths. Relax the shoulders. It's challenging. Three more deep breaths, breathing in. One more deep breath in. Go ahead and rest your hands. We're going to move here into meditation for about 2 minutes. So you can place your hands in your lap. You can place your hands on your knees. Focus on your breath, peace, stillness. Practice being consistent and soft with the edges. Our boundaries can remain and retain strength without being hard. So soften the edges of your boundaries. Emanate that understanding in all of your relationships, including the one you have with yourself. Okay, so we have 2 more. I'm going to move into cat-cow for a little bit. And during cat-cow, for these 2 minutes, I'd like for you to consider setting intention. Setting an intention that this boundary that you're creating for yourself remains open and present throughout the day, okay? So consider that as you're moving through cat-cow, again, just moving with your breath. We'll go for 2 minutes. Go ahead and begin when you're ready. So to set an intention, to hold an intention, to maintain, and even create an intention around a boundary, we have to stay consistent, right? We want to stay present to that boundary throughout the day. So move with your breath. So take a moment to just connect to your intention around a boundary or a set of boundaries. And then deepen that intention by making a commitment to be present to that throughout the day, holding it throughout the rest of your day and weekend, and maybe even over the next several days. So over the next week, you can return to this practice. You can do the whole set. You can just do one or two. Any of them that you do is going to bring you right back to this practice, that energetic signature that we are creating. Good. Go ahead and pause and have a seat on your heels. You can place a block underneath. Receive, breathe. All right, go ahead and gently open your eyes. So for this last one, we're going to add a mantra, the Satnam mantra, and you're going to have a mudra as well. So the last three fingers are interlaced. The first finger is also known as Kali mudra. Kali, of course, is the Hindu deity associated with destruction. And before you get too triggered by that idea, but there's a force in nature that destroys, right? You can liken this to the practice of organizing, where you take everything out, you sift through the things, you grab the things that really bring joy, that are important to your life, you place them back in intentionally, and then you release, destroy, give away, let go of anything else, right? So consider the things in your life that you don't need anymore, that don't serve you, that might be better served for somebody else, maybe at a different time. And courageously take a look and release. Okay, so you are welcome to chant the mantra. I'm just going to listen to the mantra. I'm going to play a track, and we're going to just do this for 3 minutes. But of course, you can do this for up to 7 minutes, 11 minutes, even longer if you need to. It's nice to listen to while you're organizing. So give me 1 minute. Okay. So you'll sit Relax your shoulders, close your eyes. If you do want to chant this mantra, just a quick inhale, sat, nam, sat, nam, sat, nam. Okay. Go ahead and release your hands. Let them rest in your lap. This practice of setting boundaries at first might conjure up resistance, but ultimately gives us a healthy sense of self, marked by an increase in vivid autonomy and resilience. I'll say that again. This practice of setting boundaries at first might conjure up resistance, but ultimately it gives you a healthy sense of self, marked by an increase in vivid autonomy and resilience, a sense of sovereignty. So to close, we're going to end with a long Sat Nam. So take a deep breath in. Nam. Thank you for your attention. Satnam. Namaste. All right, so in addition to this Kundalini practice, there is a creative exercise that I'd like for you to explore. It's basically 3 steps. And you're welcome to do this now or dedicate devoted time for this practice. You'll need a pen and a paper. And before I take you through the exercise, I want to quickly read from the book on the chapter on hauntings. All right. Just a moment. Just a few words, actually, as an introduction to this. To sort of, it's a 4-step assignment. Okay. So take a moment, pause, get yourself settled, grab a cup of tea if you'd like. What you have done in the past matters. You matter. When you discover who you have been, you break ground for whom you can become. In this exercise, leave no stone unturned. Take whatever time you need to remember and write down all of your hauntings. Go back to the heavy, hard, and embarrassing moments that shaped who you are now. Put in writing the long list of incidents where you put your foot in your mouth, where your mother was mean, where your father was absent, where your siblings were unfair. Purge everything on paper. There is no better time than now to dig up and unravel these raw and real parts of you so you can get to the very roots of where your thoughts about yourself come from. Okay? So, step 1. Relive the past. What is haunting you from your past? Come up with at least 10 experiences. Write down a minimum of 3 sentences per each incident. The more honest you are when you retell your past, the more likely you are to end patterns of judgment and exaggerated drama on your part. Darkness has its teachings. If you bring remembrance to who you were in the past, it ignites a better understanding of yourself for today. Step 2, tell the truth. With courage and compassion, question your confessions. By rewriting the haunting in a more expanded and less vague version. So be specific. This time, ask yourself honestly, is this the whole truth? Could I find some appreciation for the other side if I, just for this exercise, let go of the need to be right? Step 3, and you can take an actual highlighter. Highlight themes or repeated patterns that you are ready to free. And if I happen to have my other journal with me, in fact, I'm probably going to just go grab it. I will show you. Hold on. So I personally have page upon page upon page of themes that I've highlighted. Okay, and there's a purpose to this. So step 3 is to highlight repeated themes or patterns that you're ready to free. What beliefs about yourself, your parents, and your friends are you bound to? As Lauren Handel Zander states, the ground you have been standing on all this time is indeed changeable. Okay, and then step 4, this is where the magic happens. Rewrite your autobiography. Find holes in your past apply your new boundaries, and retell your story to set yourself free. So take as much time as you need. I'm going to go ahead and type these steps into our pages for the recording. But the more specific you can be, remember, nobody's going to read this unless you want them to. This is just for you, so you can sort of reframe, rewrite, and retell the stories that are haunting you. The ideas that you have about yourself. Remember that everything is changeable. You are changeable. You are not set in stone. You are malleable. Your experiences, your memories even are malleable, right? So go ahead and take the time that you need to reorganize these hauntings, to get clear about what they are, and to take your time. If you feel like sharing anything, feel free to put it in an email to me. It'll stay safe that way. If you want to post it up on the Facebook group, you're welcome to. We want to move from our past to our present. We want to let go the things that bind and create boundaries for ourselves that are in alignment with who we are and who we want to be. So thank you for your time and your attention today. Have a great day. Satnam. Namaste.